Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, Instagram fam, friends and followers of as-Saafiy, and welcome to another episode of Revert Reflections after a long hiatus. Welcome, brothers and sisters. Today I wanted to pose a question that will be the center of our discussions for the coming week. And the question is, what is the Islamic perspective on legalized abortion and abortion rights? Are Muslims pro-life? Are they pro-choice? What does our holy book, what do our prophetic traditions, what do our scholars, what do our teachings and tenets tell us about legalized abortion? And should that even matter? Should we even care what the Quran says? Should we even care? Do we even have to consult the Quran on issues like these, which are personal choices, if you will? The reason why I ask this question, I think, is obvious. The United States Supreme Court seems set to overturn Roe v. Wade. And as you all know, this is the historically polarizing highest court ruling that legalized abortion at the federal level nearly 50 years ago. And for years in this country, we have all witnessed this heated, politically charged, and at times violent debate over abortion rights in this country. And now, with the court set to officially ban abortion, the country could not be more polarized on the issue. We all see it. Liberals fear the ban and its far-reaching effects. And Americans with more conservative views are rejoicing at the thought that this form of family planning could finally be deemed a crime. And each side has flooded the various forms of media with slogans aimed at playing upon the emotions of and influencing those riding the fence on the issue on the one hand, and aimed at shaming their opponents for their erroneous points of view on the other. So when they put these slogans out there, they're trying to, cast a wide net and catch whoever they can of those people who are kind of like riding the fence. And at the same time, they seek to shame and they seek to accuse and to attack those who oppose the view that's opposite to theirs. So the liberals, they'll shout things like, "My body, my choice." Abortion is healthcare. Abortion is freedom. Abortion is bodily autonomy. A country without this human right is not a free country, as if to say, we are not free unless we are free to have an abortion. On the other hand, the conservatives will scream, "Choose life. It's a child, not a choice." What about the right of the fetus to live? What gives us the right to murder an unborn child? Freedom to kill is anarchy. Brothers and sisters, as Muslims, as Muslim Americans, we have to resist the temptation to think the way non-Muslim Americans do. Just because we're Americans, we don't have to think like other Americans who don't share our faith think. We have to resist the temptation to allow ourselves to be influenced by those who speak the loudest or those who speak the most forcefully. We have to resist the temptation to allow ourselves to be guided by our feelings, by our emotions, or the circumstances as we see them in our environment or our modern context, as if we have nothing else to go on. And this is very important when we look at those non-Muslim Americans who adopt opinions and who are easily influenced by the loudest voices. In many cases, it's because, one, they believe that they have nothing else to go on. They don't have a faith. They don't have a scripture that guides their everyday lives and the decisions that they make. In many cases, they go to social media, they go to these different forms of media to determine what they think. They're not independent thinkers. And they're going to these other forms of media to determine, what do I think? They're an empty glass waiting to be filled by what? Waiting to be filled by the people who are what? Who speak the loudest and speak the most influentially, the most convincingly. Brothers and sisters, if we are truly Muslims and people of genuine faith, we must consult our faith even for the small issues, let alone the big issues like our opinion on Roe v. Wade and legalized abortion. So what I want to talk about this week, what I want us to unpack, what I want us to discuss thoughtfully is, what does Islam, what does the Quran, what does the Prophet, what does Muslim scholarship, what do they all say about abortion? This is where we should be on the issue. We don't have an opinion unless it's the opinion that agrees with the teachings and tenets of our faith. We're not going to social media to find out what we think. We go to the Quran, we go to the Hadith, we go to the Muslim scholarship to determine what our position should be. Pro-life, pro-choice, on the fence. That's not determined by our feelings and our emotions or what everybody else is saying. It's determined by what the Deen says. So let's look at it. Let's talk about it. Let's think about it, inshallah, in the coming days. And until then, brothers and sisters, until we meet again tomorrow, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as always to bless your houses, to bless your spouses, to bless your children, to bless your sources of livelihood and income, to bless you and make you blessed wherever you may be, to shower you with His blessings and to surround you with His protection. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.